go straight to you, Peter. Next up we have battery minerals. The MD, Peter Durden, he's going to run us through the battery mineral story. So thank you very much, Peter.
Thanks, Andrew. And yeah, congratulations to Reed Corporate for putting on such a great event, and that's great we can get back to this place and meet and greet our investors and supporters. Battery Minerals is a multi-commodity explorer, but we're also a graphite developer. We're finalising the sale of 2 world-class graphite resources in Mozambique, and we're taking an equity position and a little bit of cash in that in TIRUPATI graphite, which at a time where we'll become a major holder in them as they're ramping up their high margin graphite mining out of 2 mines in Madagascar. They're sort of taking it from 3,000 tonnes up to 84,000 tonnes over the next 18 months. So we'll sit there for a while. We're also lining up exploration discovery stories down in our ground down near Stawell, and also up in the East Kimberleys, nickel copper. So I'll talk more about those. Capital structure and a summary there corporately. We've been around for a while. We've got cash flow and liquidity events that we're planning to bring in, which highlights our enterprise value at the moment about $4 or $5 million. So we're at a low base at the moment. If we can get some of this right, we're well placed to realise some value. Summarising the TIRUPATI graphite deal, which is just waiting and pending government approvals, final government approvals. They're a high margin producer. They're operating out of 2 mines, Madagascar. They high margins, so $412 a tonne US, ramping up to 84,000 tonnes per annum. So we'll take a position in them. We've got $1.5 million in cash that comes in, and hopefully in the next month we're expecting that to be finalised. And we're cooperating with them on other deals as well, and we like the way they work. They're an impressive company. They're turning into a globally significant producer in their own right, so they're a natural owner for these assets, and they'll take them to the mining status. Down in Stawell, we've got two discovery fairways, if you like. We've got, we heard from Chris there at STAVELY Minerals earlier today. We've got the darker red band there of the northern extent and strike extensions of the STAVELY Dryden Belt, north of the Thursday's Gossan, Cayley's Lode discovery story. We're having a lot of success at the moment building up targets in the Stawell Gold Corridor, so close to the Smorgons privately held Stawell Gold Mill there. 5 million ounce system at Stawell. It goes under the radar a bit because it's in private hands, but we're very excited about some of the exploration upside that we're realising there. It's been a slow game here, so it was 20 years behind most exploration plays in the country in terms of not a lot have been done since the 90s. And so the story's been a bit slow and a little bit boring from an investor point of view, but there was some critical work that was happening, building up the air core data set and shallow drilling across this area. There's quite a lot of old gold workings. There's clearly fertile. We're not far, we're only 10 kilometres away from Stawell Mine. We've got places like Cox's Find, which is emerging as a really exciting opportunity for us. We've done some work down at Codes at UTAS, where there's the Centre of Ore Deposit and Exploration Studies, where we're investigating some high-grade gold at Cox's Find on a microscopic level, and so proving to ourselves that we're dealing with very similar mineralisation there to at Stawell itself, especially the southern extent of that Stawell system called the Wonga Zone. We know the up to 430 grams gold at Cox's Find, but also over a dozen samples that are plus 100 grams at surface. These things would have been drilled intensely if they were in WA, which you've heard before, but there's some great upside here. And we're getting organised in terms of accelerating our activity. So you can see so far this year, 406 air core holes, over 14,000 metres drilling. Interesting zones that are being defined from that, but it's low-level geochemical work that we're doing, and we're trying to be smart about the multi-element geochem side of it. There's definitely different mineral systems that we're seeing there, and we're able to target. We're also having a lot of luck, and the guys down at Stawell and the exploration team is doing a great job opening up the community engagement and land access, which is a crucial part ultimately of what we do to be able to deliver these discovery opportunities. So, we've got over 17 access agreements in place now. It is an old gold mining area down there, so it's actually, people get what we're doing and the low impact nature of this stage of the exploration process, so that's really pleasing to see. So, as you'd expect, a pipeline rich of targets. There's multiple zones there that are undrilled, over 100 grams gold. I'll focus today on talking you through the Cox's Find opportunity, because we think that's with the knowledge advance that we've had with this microscopic and SEM and laser ablation work down through the codes group, we think we're onto the right stuff there. So that blurry image is the air mag that we've got at this stage. So this hasn't been touched since the 90s. We've got multiple points there at surface grading over 100 grams, up to 430 grams. There's some alluvials in the district, but this stuff had been glossed over, if you like, based on that assumption that this too was just alluvial, sporadic, superficial gold, if you like. We now know we've got quite compelling evidence that this is actually bedrock-associated gold. We've got sulphide associations with gold here. We're seeing, extensive zones there that haven't got any bedrock drilling underneath them. Even the southern end there, we've got what looks like a 250 metre wide zone there within the corridor, grading above 1 gram, and no drilling there. We like what we see. Very similar signature to the Wonga zone, which is where the Smorgans group are finding having a lot of exploration success, and with their high-grade gold mining just 10 kilometres away from this one. So we'll be delivering multiple opportunities like this to the market now that we're getting our ducks in a row and we're getting TIRUPATI set, which will put us in a quite financially strong position. But Staveley Stawell's hitting its straps now in terms of the air core drilling. We've done over 20,000 metres. We can see there's a strong pipeline of targets coming through. This one's jumped out and taken the lead as somewhere which obviously you need to drill underneath those sorts of grades at surface. So we'll be doing detailed 3D IP here, because with that sulphide association, we've got great confidence now that that's going to tell us a hell of a lot in terms of defining some priority drill targets there. We're getting on with that over the next couple of months. We're fast-tracking that activity at Cox's. The other exploration project that we're playing with at the moment up in the East Kimberleys, not far from the panoramic Savannah mine there, nickel, copper, cobalt, and just off the eastern side. So a couple of exploration targets in terms of that Sally Malay Savannah lookalike, nickel sulphide, and on the back of some strong discrete VTEM conductors, where there's geochem support as well, including up to 30% copper at surface. So some obvious drill holes to do in this area. We're focusing it in off the back of these EM conductors. We've got some grant from the West Australian Government to help with that drilling, so we're just running it lean and mean, high impact drilling in the next 2 to 3 months. And that just summarises the story. We're taking a position in TIRUPATI Graphite, which is a really exciting graphite story. They'll turn into a globally significant graphite producer and technology company. We'll have a position there. We take some cash as part of that deal when it finalises, and we expect that to happen within the next couple of months. And at the same time, we're ramping up and we'll deliver to the investors these discovery opportunities, of which there's a lot to like about them technically, but also noting the position at Stawell there, very close to the Smorgans gold mill, and then up near the Savannah mine up at Panoramic there. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Peter. That was very efficient delivery there. You made up a